Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. 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 Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Hello and welcome. Oh, that's a bit loud. Right, how are we doing? How is everyone? Hey, Becca. Yes, you are first. Have I unmuted myself? Yes, I have. Hey, Mrs. Riddick. Hello, everyone. So this evening is going to be the first in a series of streams. So I like thematic things. If anyone's noticed, well, the level of organisation I apply to my streams is very different to the level of organisation I apply to the rest of my life. But I do like a theme. So I thought, I have a load of historical games. Before Twitch, most of the games I played were city builders, often like historical themed ones. And I thought, given that I have a degree in archaeology and anthropology that I have used for nothing in the time that I have since I've completed it, I thought it would be quite interesting to test some of these games and see how accurate they are. I have played many of these before and I think I've had a few conversations, but I thought, it'd be fun to have a play with them. If you've got any suggestions of historical games, let me know. I'm going to go chronologically, so we're going to start from prehistory, go to the present day. It's not going to be a history lesson. I'm not going to be pretending that I'm an expert. It's just going to be good fun. And some bits clearly are not accurate at all because, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider isn't a historical game though, in the sense that look, when I say history, I mean set in the time. So I prefer to focus on games where city builders. But yeah, I know what you mean. There are lots of games which inaccurately portray archaeology, that is for sure. And some that portray it more accurately. But yeah, so I thought it would be a fun little idea. So and hey Spoop, sorry I just responded instead of saying hello. Assassin's Creed, yeah, that could be an interesting one. If I can get it cheaply, then yeah. Because there's the Odyssey, the Greek one as well. Ah, yes, that's 100% accurate. Yeah. Do you know, because there's Age of Mythology and they have the whole... Well, Age of Mythology is not historically accurate, obviously. I mean, as far as we know. But, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff we can explore. But this evening I'm going to be playing Dawn of Man. So let's turn down... Let's shift over to the game screen. Oh, let's not put Shelley Duvall on again. You only need it once. Right, so this is Dawn of Man. Let me just turn the volume down on that. And turn the volume up on the game. Right, here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Right, okay, we're going to do a new game. No, I don't want to complete the tutorial. I played this game before. Okay. So let's just do the sort of basic one. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, you see, the Anglo-Saxon one sounds interesting because that was my specialist sort of area of archaeology, was the Anglo-Saxons. But yeah, I'd be interested in all of those. Game mode... Normal. Yeah. River Fork... Lake Valley, Mountain Lake, Merging Streams, Twisty River. We go with... Let's go with Nomad as well. I think if we're going to be really historically accurate here, we're going to start from the very beginning, which is that humans did not start off as a settled people. We were nomadic. We travelled across long distances to follow food, and then we started setting up bases in specific areas. So yeah, it changed over time. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so that's not out yet. Forest River. I quite like Forest River as an idea. Let's go with that, because we do need plenty of wood, so... let's call it Hapesod, which is my name backwards. So yeah, let's go with that. Oh, okay. Well, I might get the main game, but we'll see. We'll see. Right. So this is Dawn of Man. So let's first start, let's just pause a moment. Let's see, how close can I get? I want to be able to zoom in. Okay, I tell you what, we can go to camera view. So let's have a look at their clothing. So again, I'm not an expert, but I have done a little bit of I've studied this a little bit. So this is pretty good actually, because their animal skins were sort of basically the center of human clothing. I think we also have this idea that prehistoric people were naked. Well, maybe if you go back a really long way, but by the time you get to sort of modern humans, so this is the Stone Age, right? By the time you get to sort of the modern evolutionary form of humans, especially in colder climates, which I think this is meant to be, they obviously were wearing clothing. Yeah, so this is pretty good. I like that they've included an elderly person here, because actually there's a lot of evidence to suggest that people did look after the elderly. I mean, he looks perfectly capable, but yeah. So there's interesting. I don't know where in the world this is meant to be. They've got sort of a little bit of variety of skin tone and stuff which we don't know a huge amount about, but yeah. So it's pretty good. Pretty good starting off with, and the tools they've got. So let's see what we can build first off. So let's put in, I think, so the most important thing in this is going to be a crafter. Let's just have a look actually. Is this the best location? So we're really close to a river here, so this is about the best possible location. It's nice and sort of separated off from other areas. We've got lots of easy to access sort of fertile land for later on, and lots of trees, lots of wild plants. We've got plenty of resources around here. Flint as well. It seems to have some. We've got wild animals, so we'll have to watch out for some of those, but by and large this is a very good place. So, and we really do, so we need a hearth. We need a couple of residences. So we're gonna go with, oops, I just zoomed in instead of, right, now we're also gonna need, so we'll just put a couple of those down. Now what we need to do is gather some resources. So gather sticks. I'm gonna put a gathering area there. Obtain flint. We got anywhere to obtain flint around here? Oh yeah, we've got lots of flint there. And we're gonna need to gather food as well. So we don't have a lot of food, so fishing I think would be a really useful one. So you can see we've already reached the point where we are using up sort of our maximum work time. So basically when people start, so there's a lot of theories about how people settled down in the landscape, how people kind of came to start becoming more settled rather than nomadic. And most people, I think, originally assumed that farming was the cause, and that farming kind of forced people to settle down. There's a lot of evidence to suggest the opposite, is that it's the other way round, that actually farming, I think, became possible because people settled down. I'm not a full-on academic, but I did study this to some degree. And one of the things that I can tell you is that when people started to settle down, it was mainly because, well, they did so in places where you had a variety of resources. So in biomes, which a biome I think is literally just two intersecting ecosystems. So we've got a river biome and a woodland biome, and there's a mountain one as well. So there's actually three. Is that a triome? Not sure that's a town, but you know. So yeah, so that's where this sort of comes into play, and they settled in those areas because that meant that they could have permanent access to these resources. So, for example, if they had a rainy season, then they could access plants that grew well in the rainy season, and then they could maybe go hunting in the mountains at another time of year, or so just generally rivers were a very good example of this, because you'd have the river ecosystem and then you'd have whatever was beyond. And once they settled in these areas, then you were more likely to observe things like wild plants growing if the seeds fall on the ground and things like that. And you start thinking about the development of your settlement. Oh, that animal looked a bit grumpy. We also need, just realised, so what are we missing? 4 sticks. So sticks should be our priority. So I'm going to say that we can have 2 people working there. Let's also speed things up a bit, because this is going to get silly. Not too fast at this early stage. Now let's just have a look. So this is now the only thing I would say. So this child doesn't appear to be doing anything. My view on this is that I don't think children. I think the modern idea of a child as like a separate category in society is a relatively recent one, and traditionally children would have done quite a lot of work. They probably would have helped out. So for example, gathering sticks and that kind of stuff, they absolutely would have done stuff. So I think this idea that games put where the children aren't useful until they reach a certain age, I think is a bit inaccurate, but I see why they do that, because that's more of like a game mechanic rather than anything for particular historical accuracy. Okay, so good. Our crafter is now being built, so this is great. And we've got fish coming in, so this is really positive. We're not gonna have to worry about that stuff too much. I mean, this is one of those games where you just have to keep an eye on your resources a little bit, and that's what I intend to do. Now, my knowledge of prehistory is very much confined to 2 areas, which is mainly Northwest Europe and North America. They're very, very different prehistoric environments, and there's a lot of debate about both of those. This environment here strikes me as perhaps more in line with a lot of maybe Eastern Europe and Central Asia, but I don't know enough, but there are some basic principles that just apply to everyone really. Okay, we need to gather some stone as well. So we've got our crafter now. So we're going clothing. Now, what's our flint spice? So we could do with making some bifaces. I'm gonna just do some continuous production, and a wooden spear, and a wooden harpoon. And those 3 things we're going to need a lot of. And you can see this is placing considerable strain on our population in terms of working, so that it's going to be quite tough. The other thing we've really got to watch out for is, because we're getting through the year, so we've got to have suitable shelter. Now at the moment we've got some resources, but not nearly enough, so we do need more resources for clothing. So you can do in this game is you can do hunting as well. Now, the easiest animals to hunt, i.e. the ones you're going to get least resistance from, are highlighted in green. Now, you will see the baby animals are the easiest. Now, when I first played this game, I think I was very gung-ho about just killing them all. But what I have discovered, someone told me, is actually, much like in real life, if you kill off all the babies, then there will be no adults in future. So actually, it's better to be a little more selective. You can see here, this is immense strain on the population, on the work, sort of, you know, the number of tasks that they've got to do now is huge. So once the buildings are done, I think it will get a bit easier. So we've got 4 wooden spears. So yeah, we're going to have to sort of get a move on. I'm going to speed things up a little bit as we can afford to now, because we are gathering stuff at a reasonable rate. And I think once the buildings are done, that will be good. So this, how many does a house fit? So we've got 7 people, so I think 2 huts is going to be absolutely fine. This game is great because it takes you through pretty much all the prehistoric eras, so I can show you here. So it takes you through the Paleolithic, which is the upper Stone Age. Mesolithic, which is sort of the middle Stone Age. Neolithic is the later sort of new Stone Age. And then we go into Copper, Bronze, and Iron Age, which is as we sort of see technological advancements. We don't have any farming at the moment. That doesn't come in until the Neolithic era. But people were able to make things out of grains before they actually discovered farming, so they would have collected wild grains almost certainly long before then. The other thing we need to do is to be able to dry these animal skins so that we can use them for clothing and for shelter. So that's why I'm just building a couple of those there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and advance through different periods. So it might be that I don't get through the whole of the Stone Age in this series, in this stream. So we might do this again another stream, and then we'll move on to another game, the following one. So that's the way we'll do it, just for kind of consistency. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have a look at the Assassin's Creed games actually, because if I can get them cheaply, then I will absolutely do so. Okay, no storage slots left, so we do need a storage. So we need a wood pile and a rock pile. Yeah, that's good. Right, let's see. So we can start research. We can research stuff now. So food drying, I think, is the most important thing we could possibly do. And the reason for that is it allows us to keep food for much longer. Our food will decay otherwise. I mean, in the really cold parts of the world, they could use ice, but often, you know, the preserving process using salt or just drying, and that things lasted longer. So that was a very common practice. No storage slots left. We can have a basic storage tent as well, you know. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I was just travelling around, but not actually doing anything useful. So let's put in. So have we got? Yeah. So we've got some animal skins, but we need to dry them before we can actually use them. We're not short of food at the moment, so that's very good. We just need to keep an eye on that food supplies, really. That's the kind of... Now, I would imagine that one of the things that I think really must have been quite challenging for early humans was that, you know, they were very vulnerable to changes in food supply and things like natural disasters that affect us now that we can sort of have governments that can invoke protection and policy. There was no way they could it couldn't travel far enough, couldn't do, I mean, the human population went up and down, up and down. It never really rose very high until quite a lot later. For example, when the supervolcano of Toba erupted in 70,000 years ago, I think it was something like that, it killed off possibly 90 to 95% of the population died just because of that volcanic eruption around the world, because it changed weather patterns so much that food supplies were completely disrupted for a very, very long time after. So yeah, it's amazing how I think we see ourselves as a lot more invulnerable today than they would have done then. So we've got good. So we're not doing too badly on resources. Our food supply is reasonable, and our flint supply, we've sort of stone we're a bit short of, but that's okay. We're getting there. We've got wooden spears and knives and stuff, so we're kind of doing a pretty good job of keeping our resources going. Right, so here we go. So we're now going to be in a position, much better position to preserve our food. So we won't have to worry about this. We won't have to worry about losing food as much. It will take a lot longer for us to run out of, for that food to decay. Because this game actually does. Some games, if your food supply is just constant, you don't have to worry about it. You eat it, and it's, if you've got more food than you need, it will last forever, according to the game. Whereas this has an actual process of decay, which can be quite challenging. So that we need 2 more animal skins. So we're gonna need to do a bit more hunting as well. We're still at the point where we're working our people a bit harder than I think arguably is feasible. Let's hunt them. Now the ones in yellow and dark colours, they're more difficult to hunt, and that could be for a variety of reasons. It could be because they're dangerous, or it could be just because they're really fast. So for example, bears and wolves, they're going to come up as red, especially the adults, because of how dangerous they are. Whereas horses are going to show up in slightly darker colours, like the yellows, because although they're not going to kill you, they will get away if your weapons aren't very good. So it's worth trying. You might get lucky, but the technology you advance through really does help a lot. And I'd say that again. I mean, the Stone Age is really the period of mass. Is one of the I would say is one of the significant periods of mass extinction before the modern age, because it was when humans really did start expanding much further out into different territory, and came across species that had been kind of completely unused to human behaviour. And so, the megafauna of North America and Europe would quite quickly eliminated. Some of that was to do with climate changes that happened at the time, the end of the Ice Age. But a lot of it was to do with hunting. Whereas in, much of Africa, they'd sort of the surviving, either the megafauna had already died out, or they had humanoid hominids had sort of lived alongside them for quite a long time. I mean, there have been forms of humans living in Africa for millions of years, whereas North America, it's a matter of tens of thousands of years. So you can see how animals in North America probably weren't as well adapted to the arrival of the great apes, which we are a part of. Now, I know there are other games that cover earlier than this, so like human evolution. I kind of decided not to, because That's technically this isn't history, this is prehistory, but I thought this is really, I feel like I have more to say from this point onwards than I do from the evolutionary side. There's not, I know a bit about it, but probably not as much. So we actually need another house, another hut, which is fine, we can actually manage that. So let's put one there. Let's put. So we're just trying to create a kind of quite concentrated sort of nucleus of huts. Now I like these because these are quite similar to what we think a lot of early human dwellings looked like. I would say that they varied in the area depending on what animals they could hunt. So in much of Eastern Europe and Russia, they would have used maybe more bone in the structure as well. There's different ways of building depending on what you had available in your area. But animal skin was a very common one because of the insulation it provided. But it must have been really smelly. We don't really think about those things so much now, but houses must have really smelt very different. We've got to trade it. Now, do we want anything? To be honest, no. I'm going to say we don't. I don't think we really... there's not a huge amount we have to give away at this point. Let's see. So, dog domestication is very good. Funerary rituals will... That's another thing. Bone tools. Okay, we're going to go with that. I mean, we'll unlock all of these. I'm not someone who skips things. I tend to unlock everything. So, how many bones have we got? It's not a huge amount. So, we'll just keep making stick-based ones for now because they are nice and easy. But when we've stored up a better supply of bones, I think we'll move on. So we've only got 7 people. I think we're going to just increase the amount of people that's possible for. So we want a little bit more. Do we don't want to overfish, so we'll go with stone. So this is another thing as well. The fish supply does deplete. So for example, this I haven't depleted because it's only been one person, but you can see it's running much lower. So we also want, I think, just trying to see which is the best. So there's fewer wild plants. This is there's a concentration of trees around here, but I think let's try and stay really close to the base, and this is a bit of diversity of trees and plants, so let's do that, and we can have up to 2. So we've now got, so we've got to a stage now where our workload is a lot lower, so this is the perfect time to do some hunting, and we've got plenty of animals. Now, some of these are going to be quite fast, so I think it's going to be a bit harder, but there we go. Okay, so that's plenty of workload there. So let's have a look. So we've got space for 2 more people to join our settlement. Bam, bam, bam. Do you know what? This is quite a nice chill game for Sunday evenings as well. So this is suiting me very nicely. So the other thing as well, I mean, you can see this is taking a while to acquire stuff. I mean, the thing to remember about human development is that the longest periods were the slowest. I know that sounds like an obvious statement, but that is absolutely true. It took a very, very long time for us to get to, from the early, this kind of makes it look like equal divisions. Obviously it will, because it's not going to fit on the screen, but the Paleolithic period, I mean, let me Paleolithic period was 99% of the time in human history. So if we look at, so the lower Paleolithic, so the earliest human species was from 3.3 million years ago, and then the upper Paleolithic, so is probably about 12,000 12,000 years ago, actually, and that depends on where it depends on whereabouts in the world you're talking. But yeah, so from 3.3 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago, that was the Paleolithic period. This is quite clearly the upper Paleolithic, because you can see just based on everything, like, we didn't get any kind of settlement until much later on in the Stone Age. Okay, tanning. So this is good because we can now make warm clothes. I know Skin's outfit is warmer, so that's just a light one. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have evolved that, have researched that one yet. That was not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's fine. 2 new humans have joined the settlement, so we're gonna have to build another residence. We do need a fire. We absolutely need a fire. I'm concerned that we're not we need to be gathering stone. So that's not happening yet. So we're gonna have to get a move on with that. Composite tools. That's why we're not mining it. So, okay. That's my mistake, really. But when we get a pick, it's a bone pick. That's right, I think. So people aren't very happy at the moment. And that's because there isn't really much to entertain themselves with. And we will find that problem kind of subsides once we've got, well, once we sort of develop different technologies, there'll be more ways for people to keep amused. So yeah, that is one of the challenges of this early period, is balancing resources and keeping people happy and all of that kind of thing. It's early stages of these games are always the most difficult. Now that I should have, let me delete this. That's right. Okay. So, right, we're gathering stone now. I should have thought about that, but it will be a lot easier. We've still got plenty of tools. Plenty of flint. Oh, cave hyena attack. Where's this taking place? Okay. On the bright side, oh wow! So we've got good resources from that. Although we've got a very injured person now. Right, we need to just speed up time because it always slows it down when those things happen. So we need some stone. We've now got enough stone for the fire. That was completely my fault for not seeing this area here, which we can gather stone at. He is not happy. Oh. And as soon as he picked it up, here it comes. Right, we've survived the winter. Okay, and now we can research another technology. So I think composite tools. This just means that we can do more complicated things. A flint pick would be very, very helpful. Let's just have a few. I'm not going to do this on unlimited just yet. So we're doing pretty well. You do have to be quite measured about everything. There's some games which just allow you to sort of expand very easily, very quickly. This is not one of them. You have to be quite measured with how you do things. Oh. The bear just killed the cave hyena and... well... that's very handy. Highly convenient. We just have to watch out because... obviously... we are... you know, the other hyenas are gonna come for us. Well, I hope everyone's having a good evening, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. I'm enjoying playing this game. Okay, so we can use sticks for the fire if we need to. Yeah, so this is good. So we've got a good little established area. I think one food dryer is fine for now. Let's have a look at what buildings. So we should put a skull pole, and I think I'm going to put it somewhere reasonably central. Because that cheers people up, apparently. Apparently looking at a pole with a skull on it. I mean, we do find evidence of these sorts of things because people would use those kind of resources to sort of honour the dead. We don't know a huge amount about prehistoric religion, but what we do know is that they absolutely were. All the evidence points to signs of worship and reverence, so it's good that they've included something in this. I don't know the specific details. I'm kind of wondering where they got these specific human skulls from, because we haven't encountered any humans other than the ones in our own settlement. But just gonna brush over that one. Not ask too many questions. So we've got some picks now. 6 flint picks. What else have we? I'm gonna put an order in for a few of those as well. Put an order in. Talking like it's now what I'm gonna do is see, I think we need to decide which area we're going to expand into. I'm gonna say this area we're gonna need the space. Now trees do regrow in this. They very slowly they do. I've noticed this. I didn't realise the first time I played it. But they do. And so production limit is set for 10. We don't want that. We can have as much flint as we want. But yeah, trees do regrow. It's just relatively slowly. So you do have to try not to cut down all the trees in your area. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. So I reckon this stream is going to be like a couple of hours. And I think that's what the standard for my Sunday streams is going to be, just because I do stream pretty much every day. So now for the moment, I'm going to say 2 people is fine, and let's say 25. Oh, it's a storm. So this is when like damage to buildings can happen and things like that. Right, so we need a new flint area. So let's have space for 2. So we just need to keep an eye, because there are flint work areas nearby. Let's just speed through the storm. This is a really lovely game in terms of aesthetics as well. I enjoy it. On that basis. People are not happy. I'm doing my best. Let's have another skull pole as well. What is it that's making them unhappy? Its morale is just low. I think that's the one I've always found hardest in this game, is to work out how to keep people's morale up. I don't think we need a tanner just yet. So, how are we getting on? So we've got someone gathering flint over there. If you're just tuning in, we are examining prehistory through the lens of a game called Dawn of Man. I'm going to be doing this with a few different games actually, and we're going to go in chronological order through history. So this week is Dawn of Man, and probably next week, just because it covers such a huge part of human history. Oh. Okay, so we've lost someone to a cave hyena, which has now run off. But that's fine. God, they're really going for it, aren't they? Have we just lost another person? We've lost 2 people. Well, that's bad. Come on, kill the cave hyena. Yes, 2 of you. Thank you. Oh God, there's another one. They're not going to stop, are they? We've lost 2 people, which is quite big in the population of this size. So we have plenty of space now, but that does mean we've got fewer people to work. I mean, this must have been a huge peril for small populations of people, is that wild animals would have just been a constant threat. Let's have a look and see. But we have got plenty of we've got plenty of animals from, well, the hyenas will make food for the, I say make food as if they're doing the cooking. They are in fact dead, and the people will in fact eat them. Oh, I just clicked out of the screen again. So we've got, so this is going to be, so we're in a little bit of a tough period, because you can see just 2 people dying has made quite a big difference to like the workload. So now they're going to be quite overloaded. Let me just turn it that way. Just realised I'm off centre slightly. There we go. That's fine. Bum 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 bum. Right, so we're now. So we're just trying to sort of. We're gonna just sort of have to rebuild a little bit from that attack. But you can see another attack like that would be devastating. So we just want to be a bit careful about things like that. Because yeah, another attack would mean that our population would have halved in 2 attacks. So we just got to try and keep everyone safe. We'll get new people arriving every so often. But nonetheless, yeah, we just have to be a bit wary. But we have benefited in terms of we've gained a bit of food from that. So that wasn't. But we've lost people. So I probably shouldn't look too much on the bright side. What's our flint capacity and our stone gathering? Yeah, we want infinite food gathering. Don't mind. Again, these things can be higher. So, in spite of all of that, we have managed to keep up relatively good food production. So that's a positive. Our people here are quite overstretched in terms of workload, though. So I think that's gonna impact their morale. We've just exhausted on another flint supply, so we're gonna have to have a look round for another one. One that isn't. So I think I saw one. There's a couple over here. So we'll put 2 people on that. Right, that's good. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a good evening. Oh good, we've got another person born. So they're not going to be able to do anything. So they're just a baby. But... oh, there they are. Is that them? Oh no, they are helping. Okay, I'm wrong. Ignore my earlier comment about children not doing anything. I think they're limited in what tasks they do. I mean, that child literally was just born and seems to have done things. I think they're just less productive. But yeah. Hey Tommy, how you doing? Right, I think what we're going to do, this will improve morale. So I think that will be really useful. Funerary Rituals. So let's put a burial mound, and I'm going to say this ought to go somewhere like here. Yeah, doing pretty well, thank you. Kind of wish it wasn't the end of the weekend, but you know, got to pay the bills. So work tomorrow I must. But yeah, no, otherwise not too bad. Right, we've got a bit of a shortage of animals to hunt, but these 3 will do. And again, we just have to watch out for cave hyenas and whatnot. So this is our little early prehistoric, so sort of early Stone Age settlement. Got a nice little. Yeah, resource-wise, we seem to be holding up pretty well. So I'm quite happy with that. Let's see. I could really do with some more people. That last cave hyena attack was not Not ideal. Not ideal at all. I do like the way they incorporate the seasons into this game, and there's a kind of gradual nature to them. It's not just like like Banished is a bit like it falls below a certain temperature and suddenly it's snowing. Whereas in this, it can be cold and not snowy. They sort of vary it a little bit, which I do think makes a big difference to the realism of it. It's a little stronger. Bum, 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 bum. I love water. It's that weird. It's just really simple and necessary. What else? That needs repairing. Okay, so again, see the thing with this size population, it's really easy for population to become a little overwhelmed by tasks. So the workload is high, so it just means it will take longer for them to do things. I think this must have been a real problem in really small communities that had been nomadic or maybe were early settlers, in that they, you know, it must have been quite hard to, you know, prioritize, you know, to get stuff done. You might have, and also with lack of, you know, only relying on sort of daylight really limits you. So in the summer in the northern hemisphere, in the summer in the sort of far north, you could have got quite a lot done, but then in the winter, very little, limited time, so to do things during the day. So it must have been incredibly difficult before. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, fire, but in terms of portable and practical use of the night, like we can now, just didn't have that. I hear a pig. So this is being built now, so that's really good. So that might make people happier. Now I'm not sure what this is based on. I might have to look this up, because this styling here, I don't know what particular part of the world that is referenced to or is based on. So it'd be interesting to know. Okay, so these two need repairing. So we do need to get on with that. Have we got enough animals? Yeah, we've got loads of animal skins, so there's absolutely no risk of that. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, you need to stretch. So tomorrow evening I'm going to be carrying on with the my 18th century Minecraft endeavours. I've got done quite a lot since the last stream. I'll be once again I'll be resurrecting my fake Georgian costume and playing nice music, and we shall do a bit of a tour of my city that I've been building. It's looking very grand. If you're a fan of period dramas set in sort of Jane Austen's era, then I think you'll like it. If you're not, you may still appreciate it anyway. Oh, good. We've reached 11 people, so that's really good. Okay, so we need more houses. Okay, so we can. Our workload is going to become a little more manageable now. Let's put another house in. I'm sort of keeping relatively close to the water at the moment because I just think it's useful. I want to keep people relatively near where resources are. I think let's go with sling making, and then I think dog domestication will do last before, because that way we're starting to then the Mesolithic is within reach. And yeah, we're sort of making, I think we're making very good progress. It was a bit touch and go initially with me not remembering to build a fire or collect stone for it anyway, but I think we've got past that. We're starting to find our food supplies being tested a little more. So I think we're going to just have to be mindful of that. And I'm going to put in another fishing location. Just because I think that's going to be very useful. Plus, another location for collecting and harvesting wild plants. That area, I think, will be very useful. Yeah, that's good. Have we got any... Seems the animal populations in this area were relatively small to start with, I've noticed. But if we can get them to venture over here, then we might be okay. Right, that's quite a lot. But that would be a very healthy supply. It's a bit of a way for them to go as well. That's my slight concern. I mean, they will come over this way, but it's just when you're just looking at that number of food there, that's not as much as I would like. And I'm going to prepare for that potentially larger food supply, I'm going to have another food dryer. So we can make a few slings. That would be quite good. I'm just going to pause for a moment because I just need to use the loo. So let me just put my Be Right Back screen on and I will be right back. I'm back, right. There we go. I've returned Right, let's resume. So we've got quite a lot of tasks, so I think it's going to be somewhat challenging because we're sending people a long way to do some hunting. It's potentially risky, but we have got more people. So this area is our sort of current hunting ground. It's not too far away. Right, we've got plenty of stone, so I'm not going to put a new stone work area in just yet. Just because we know we can't really have, it's just too much for people to manage. On top of hunting. What about, have they got anything useful? Not really. We've got a lot more than they have, and they've got high commission, so I don't really see the point of that. Survive the winter again. Okay. So we've unlocked a milestone. I mean, I've played this game before, but just on a different PC, so it's treating it as if I've played it for the first time. So yeah, you see it doesn't, it sort of... Actually, the transitions to the seasons are a little bit sudden, but it's not too bad. Right, so we've got some food drying. That's just a trader standing there. Who's that? Oh, there's two of them. Oh, it's a child trading. Oh, thanks for the raid, John. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome. What were you? Oh, were you doing D&D? Hey, let's give you a shout out. Oh my god, that was another really long session. I swear you were playing like hours ago, because I had a look. I was sort of lurking for a bit early on. That was, and then I went, I think that was early afternoon, and then I went for a walk. I think in that time I've made pancakes, a pie, I've been for a walk, I've cleaned my kitchen, had a cup of tea, and then I started streaming. That's impressive. That's a long time. That's impressive. I mean, it's not as long as the one we did before, but yeah, was it good fun? I mean, I'm sure it was. D&D is always good fun. Either that or I'm just really productive, you know. Did anything particularly noteworthy or exciting happen? Anything scandalous to report back? Okay, so we've got a mouflon has escaped. Oh, you got on a boat. Well, right. Let's domesticate those dogs. Now, this is my favourite part of this game because the dogs are cute, little floofy. They don't really do much until they can hunt for you, but except they do. Well, they do it to help defend. You see, look, it's a cave lion. So they will start to appear. They gravitate towards the warmth, and I think that's partly what happened was that dogs got scraps of, wolves started getting scraps of food, and they learned that there was a sort of mutual benefit of being around humans, because the humans found that they were less likely to be attacked when they were, when wolves were around. And I suspect in time they basically, wolf puppies that became domesticated, they effectively just, that's where they became dogs as we know them. It doesn't take that long from domestication to the changes that we see in dogs. It's a few generations of changes, and it's not like a full genetic change. It's just that certain traits that exist in dogs are brought out more strongly in the domestication process. They've tested it before with foxes, and only it's like maybe a few generations of foxes, and you start to get colour changes in the fur and the sort of trademarks of domestication that we see in dogs. Okay, so our workload is still really high, but we are bringing it slowly down. Oh, you see, all of our huts keep needing repairing. Stop trashing the houses. I don't think that's what they're actually doing, but let's have a look. So we do need more food. That is the constant battle we're going to be facing. So I've just got to keep, I know it's piling up work on top of the on the people, you know, already they've got a huge workload, but it's just so essential that we keep doing that. So that hasn't really been used at all. I think that, yeah, that one has, but what about this one? Okay, so we're sort of recovering our fish supplies. Oh god, yeah, I forgot about water. Actually, no, there's no, I don't think I can do anything to provide them with water anyway. A wolf attack. Where's this wolf attack taking place? Oh, it's a very slow motion wolf attack. Right, hang on. Where are they going? Oh, they're attacking a dog. No, we only just got one dog. Rude. Poor dog. Oh no, they killed a person. Oh, for God's sake. Wait. Is this... Okay, so everyone is out fighting. Is the wolf not going to go for the people? No, that's really sad. Oh, it's the cave lion is eating the dog. That's really... Okay, so we've lost 2 people, which means that our workload is now even higher. And the people are returning to find 2 wolves just waiting at the camp. So that's not good. What's the burial capacity of this mound? Okay, so we can fit those 2 people in. It's a shame that we have to, but so be it. Oh! Dog! Oh my god, the wolf just became a... If they hang around for long enough, they just become dogs. That's funny. So it just killed... That's very bizarre. Oh, I mean that makes complete sense. I just didn't really notice that. I've never observed that in practice in the game before. That's quite entertaining. I mean, you should be ashamed of yourself because you killed the other dog, but I guess you've learned your lesson and are now a dog. Okay, so we're gonna need another burial mound, I think. I know that's morbid to say so, but we've lost people. We've lost quite a lot. Actually, I would say, because we've probably had... How many people have died? Might be 5. So we've probably had... probably a third of the people that have been alive in this town in the few years that it's existed have died. So that's quite a high mortality rate. Which I think is a fairly accurate reflection of the time. You know, I mean... In the early... Stone Age, you wouldn't say there was less conflict between humans, but there was a lot of conflict between humans and animals, because humans were very vulnerable. A storm. Well, if you're hungry, then eat, please. I mean, the fact that you're missing hunting these animals and they're walking right through is disappointing. Very disappointing. It would be so easy. But yet you failed. Okay, so people are eating through stuff incredibly fast. I mean, it's pretty astonishing, actually. I mean, it doesn't help that we keep losing people to... Okay, so we've got... So we're getting through these milestones. Oh, that's a nice picture there, really, isn't it? So for anyone who's tuning in with John's raid or is just tuned in anyway, basically this game is Dawn of Man. Now the reason I'm playing this is I decided that I'd do a little series every Sunday, just a couple of hours each time, of games that focus on history in some ways. My degree was in archaeology and anthropology, and I did wonder, like, you know, how accurate are some of these games, and so I thought I'd do like go in chronological order and do a different one each week. And I'm not saying it's going to be like a history lesson, but it's just kind of fun to play them and see how they've interpreted things differently. It's a really hard word to say. Interpreted. Yes, that is the word. Interpreted things differently. My brain is not with it. So yeah, it is just interesting to observe how different games treat the past in different ways. This is pretty good as games go in terms of accuracy. We've got a trader has arrived. Okay, so we've now got capacity to add some more hunting. What else? I'm gonna say that we really do need to try these again. Oh wait, what? Can we not? Wasn't letting me do the multiple hunting thingy. I'm not going to try for the bigger animals just yet because I'm not convinced that we're cut out for it. So, and also I'm a bit worried about losing people because we've, as I've already pointed out, we've lost quite a lot of people. Although we could try that. Could be risky. Maybe the dog can help. Where's the dog? Trouble is, that's only good if it goes... Oh, we'll see what happens. But yeah, my concern at the moment is that we just aren't... We're not doing terribly when it comes to food, but we also haven't... We've not exactly got an abundance of food, and... Yeah, there's... So we want to try and... Now, you notice I'm selecting carefully. Now, you could just kill all the animals in a family group, but actually this is a really bad idea in this game. For the main reason, which is a very logical one, that if you kill all of them, then they don't reproduce, obviously. Because they can't reproduce if they're dead. So, yeah. This actually does take an element of realism to this game. There is a realistic component. Oh good, a cave lion attack. Please don't kill. Thank you. I would like it if you did not keep doing that, animals. I know that you see me as a threat and you anticipate hundreds of thousands of years of murder of your species, but I would appreciate that if in this computer game simulation of that you left me alone. Thank you. See, he's not got long if he doesn't eat up. Yeah, so we really do need more food. And the thing is, we just haven't got haven't got very many people. I'm gonna say that I think gathering food is something we really do need to prioritize, because we can fish and hunt all we like, but it does seem that we don't seem to be getting a huge amount out of that. This is a really good game. I do recommend if you're interested in, like, if you like city builders, then this is a good game to check out. I know you've escaped, but I'm not going to let you. Thank you. So we've got plenty of like things like flint and stone and wood, so we're not short of those. It is just food that it's just, we've just got to keep a really close eye on that, because it's very easy for that to get out of control as a problem. I am gonna just make sure that, yeah, that'll be fine. Speed things up again. I think that's why it was going so slowly, because people weren't paying attention. When I say people, I mean me. I wasn't paying attention. Never mind. Sometimes I don't know what's going on in my own head. My slight concern is that I'm making them hunt, but they're not actually getting the animals. Are they? You see that? It looked like that horse was eating the cave lion, but it's not. Thankfully. Horses have not developed a taste for flesh. Or have they? That would be quite alarming, actually. Okay, good. We are making use of that. Yeah, we're just getting through food so fast. What we need is like a nice big migration of animals to come really close by. This is why I don't expend a lot of energy on the bigger animals. I mean, I know you get more meat from them, but it's just that it's a lot harder to get them, and by the time you have, you might have lost people in the process. Oh no, 2 dogs have got a disease. No. Right. I think we're going to need to do more fishing. I think that's going to be our answer for the winter. I think next time a trader comes along, I think what we should do is trade wood for... yeah, trade some wood for some food or something like that. It's storage, that's what we want. We want another wood pile. And that rock pile, I think we've got space. Okay, we've got 2 new humans in the settlement, so this is good. This will help just tackle our high workload. It does mean more people needing food, but we'll see. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, we've hunted an auroch, so that's... Oh, that's really good. Okay, so maybe it is worth hunting the bigger animals then. Maybe I'm... Because you know, people absolutely would have. Just need to have a look, because there's some that are more dangerous than others, you see. An ancient bison. Okay. Okay, that dog survived. Our old dog here. Let's have a look at the world from his perspective. Hello. Floof. Where are we going? There we go. I do like that you can do that. Makes me happy. I just realised that you can't see the workload in the top right corner. But I'm not inclined to mess about with that too much, just because I guess I could put it down here. That's probably about right. And then we can just lock. Yeah. There we go. Then you can kind of see what's going on a bit more. Sorry about that. Bum, 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 bum. Right, what's going on? A reindeer has escaped. Right, so I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find some larger animals to hunt. An old cave lion, still going to be a bit vicious. An adult bison. Yeah, some of these animals are just beyond our reach. Yeah, let's not stray too far away. We do need food, but I'm not gonna go crazy. Ancient bison attack. Yay, there we go. Right. You've hunted a bison. And there's an auroch there as well. Where are you going? Wonderful. See, how much food is on there? So there's 3 on there. Oh, okay. So I'm not counting food. I think I just look at the amount of meat and I'm like, oh, that's not very much. But then we've also got fish and some, you know, some nuts there as well. So we have got we've not got loads of food, but we're not completely depleted. Oh, that's. I've just realised that I am treating it as if I am jumping. I am not jumping. I am just pausing the game. Because I am an idiot. I mean, I can't jump. I'm not a character. It should be obvious to me, but there we go. So I'm probably going to play this for maybe another half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll see how I go. Sundays is always my quieter day. I need to have some food. Got to swap my dinner. Okay, so we've got a little more food now. Just need to wait for them to bring back some food from further away. We're doing pretty well in terms of... Let's see, we probably want another few of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we just, those kind of things are useful because we've got plenty of flint. We're not really running out of these things at the moment, and we've got enough people that we can afford to install more. I'm going to put in another hut. Oh. Where's this going? It's going here, I think. Just on the riverbanks. Okay. Well, that's good. So again, more food. I think we're in a bit better territory now. I think, yeah, hunting slightly larger animals, I think, makes a difference. We just have to be careful not to deplete their populations. Oh, good, we've got more dogs now. So we've got our old dog there. We've got our 2 other dogs here. So it's not bad, not bad. Bam, 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 bam. So yeah, I think broadly speaking, we need to. We probably could do with another. We could do with another burial mound as well, I think. Maybe just next to her. Yeah, that's probably about right. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, this is all. We're in a fairly healthy condition. So, we can now dog training. So, okay, so the next thing we unlock will take us into a new part of the Stone Age. So I'd like to sort of try and get to that at least on this stream. It does become a little quicker around the middle of getting, to get more stuff to advance, but it is a fairly slow process, so I don't know whether this is going to be a case of next week I might do a slightly longer stream. Cave Hyena Attack, where is this? Who is it attacking? Because it is clearly going after... It's coming in. There we go. Cave Hyena has been dispatched. And the dogs are doing well not to eat it. Right, let's give them 1, 2, 3. Got some bread. There we go. We can't actually make bread ourselves yet in this game, but we can have it from other people. Where? It's behaving as if it's over. Can you calm down? Okay, apparently not. What's this? Oh, it's our dog. Oh, did you deal with it? Oh, he's dealt with the other one. Aren't you good? That dog is just sitting on the body of a hyena. It's normal. So we've got space for another 5 people to move in. We survived the winter again. This child has made friends with their dog. So that's quite nice. Yeah, as games go, and considering there are very few games that talk about the prehistoric era, which, I mean, it's a huge era, this is very, very good for accuracy like it captures the challenges very well. It gets the aesthetic pretty well, like considering that it doesn't specify exactly where it's set, as far as I can tell. And it, yeah, I would say this is a very it's unusually good in terms of accuracy. There's only a very few details that I would say are not quite there, but that's mainly like, I would say that's mainly to do with gameplay stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert on prehistory, but I've studied enough of it that I would be able to spot glaring mistakes. I'm sure there's details that I don't know about, but by and large it's pretty spot on. So yeah, well done, Dawn of Man. And it does this. It's fairly good at this with, you know, through all of the eras that it covers that I've seen. I haven't actually made it this far yet. I've only ever made it up to, I think I've Copper Age, I think, right? Or maybe I think once I'd made it up to the Bronze Age, but so yeah, there's more still to. There's a lot to. It actually takes quite a while to play, so from that perspective, it's quite a. There's quite a lot to it. Ooh. Can we? No, we can't risk it. Let's. But these are so close. Do you know what? Let's go for it. Let's just do. No, let's. Okay, it's going to be risky, so we're going to have to see how we get on with that. We see, yeah, that's a huge amount of work that's going to be, but it's fine because it will definitely be worth it from a food perspective. And the dogs can help now. So the dogs can come along hunting. I think that's right. Is that? Yeah, it is. Yeah, they can come along. Dogs to help in hunting tasks. Fab. Okay. So most people seem to be sort of hovering around here now. I mean, we're not doing too badly on food supply. I mean, I think we could do with some more people. That would be massively helpful. So some of the animals that we're going after have moved away, so that's going to make it a little more tricky. But if they stay reasonably close, so we've done a lot of those tasks, so that's good. Is that a dog or a wolf? Is that one of ours? Yep, that's one of our dogs. Ah, hey Miss Angie, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, big stretch. We're in a storm. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. Just having a nice chilled out stream. We're doing a bit of historical education in the form of games. I thought do progress through human history one bit at a time. So next week we'll do this, but we'll be a bit further advanced in the Stone Age, and then we'll move on to different games as we progress through. So it'll be a bit of a series of streams. So I've been looking at this for its historical accuracy, and Dawn of Man scores pretty highly on prehistory and how it covers it in as much as it can be with how long the period of prehistory was. So yeah, thumbs up from me. But we're only in the early Stone Age at the moment. The Paleolithic. Are we going to be able to hunt these? I'm not having them get away. We need food. Population reached 15. Okay, this is good. This is more people available to hunt, to gather resources. Puts us in a much better position. Bum ba-dum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Hang on. Which way am I turning it? It's this way slightly. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, what's everyone up to? What you're all doing? I'm quite pleased with this little settlement. It's looking nice and established now. We could put a gathering area around there actually. People are not happy. Okay, so we're gathering. I'm just trying to gather as many resources as I can. Right, how many berries is that going to be? Okay, we are clearly hunting successfully somewhere. Just can't see where. Okay, good. We have got more food. Yes, thank you, dog, for the contribution. Yeah, this is all coming together. So I'm probably going to stop in about 20 minutes or so, unless I get raided again. Where's the ancient bison? Okay. You can do it. Okay, unfortunately, a dog and a person was killed by the ancient bison, but we now will have much more food. So poor dog, but yay for having food. I mean, we're much closer to. Let's see if we can I think reaching the Mesolithic would be great. That would be really fantastic. We've got to repair those houses as well. Got plenty of food drying space. So yeah, earlier I presumed that that children didn't help out in the activities, in the tasks, but actually I'm wrong, and you can see that they clearly do, especially with like food preparation and stuff like that. So absolutely. So this actually does get that right as well, which is that the role of children. I mean, some games, you know, for example, Banished, children don't do anything. But even when Banished is set, which I think it appears to be sort of 17th, 18th century pioneer sort of colonialist sort of era, pre-mass colonialism in the Americas, but kind of, you know, early settlers. But even then, the children would absolutely have done things. Unless you were very rich, you would certainly not have. You wouldn't have been exempt from work. So, this gets it right. It gets that right. The children. I don't think then they don't take part in the hunting, which that does make sense. They absolutely do take part in other activities, like food preparation, and you know, carrying resources to and from places. So anything they could manage, they would almost certainly have done, because if you've not got many people in your tribe or your group, you really have to make sure you make effective use of the people you have. Let's see. So we can fit 4 more people, so there's no need to build new houses just yet. Wow, okay, so we've got quite a bit of food now, so I'm not quite so worried. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in an additional food. Oops. Did I just place one down? I think I did, but I can't see it. I don't think I did. Let's have a look. It was... There we go. So there's lots of food drying there. That's really good. What's our... Have a look at our population. Oh no, we've got that there. We don't need... What about animals? Doesn't show dogs. Ancient bison attack. Where is it? This ancient bison. We need to hunt. I think. No, let's not do that. Alas, we have lost the dog. No, not that. Yeah, animals, but it doesn't show dogs, so maybe that's not so relevant. Some of your people have no warm clothing. Well, then we need to prioritize. Making outfits. We've got plenty of. Well, we don't have much capacity to do it. That's probably the main issue. Let's set this to high priority. I think that it's important that we get more clothing. Don't want our people going naked in winter. Where? Okay, we've lost a person. Well, guess we have more clothing. Let's have a look at that. Let's... Let's cancel those hunting ones. And yeah, that's good. Okay, so we've now... This should give us a bit more capacity to do things. Let's see. Where's this cave lion? Run. Return home. I need you to return back here. And let's speed things up. Yeah, let's try and control things a little bit. Where? Oh god, he's gonna die, isn't he? Bloody hell. See, they're dropping like flies. We had 15 a minute ago. I think, yeah, let's just try and consolidate. I'm going to be stopping my stream in a moment anyway. As 2 hours is plenty for a Sunday night. And as I say, unless there's a last minute raid, then we're definitely stopping at 8 o'clock. I'm just going to open up list of streams. What? Another bloody... Where? Oh no, a dog's been killed by the Auroch. Well, I mean, the animals are out to get me now. So that's not good. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Right, let's speed things up a little bit. Yeah, we need more people. It's a little frustrating because we are struggling slightly. Yeah, you see, we're gonna need another burial mound. It's depressing. We seem to be losing. We must have lost nearly half the population to animal attacks at some point. Okay. How many dogs have we got? 2. Okay. At the very least we've got dogs. That is the most important thing, of course. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, we've got more food coming in thanks to the number of animals that have just died around us. It's rather okay. They've got, yeah, we've got plenty of food, but it would be good if we could not have so many more attacks. Body capacity left 1. Okay, so we've got a fair amount of capacity left for new Burials, because we're anticipating it. Production. I'm gonna... See, I'm reluctant to have... Yeah, I'm reluctant for us to be making stuff we really don't need. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good amount of food there. That's got more than 40. This is quite good actually because I can sort of track our food production over time. And at the moment it's very good. So we've just got it, but it means that I don't get complacent. So if I can see in the context that we aren't slowly getting used to more, we don't just start getting used to less food, or you know, we don't get complacent because we just happen to have a really big hunt. Big hunt with an H. I just realised if you roll certain words together you really do get quite the unintended effect. So don't take that out of context. H-U-N-T. It's quite crucial. Oh. Right. While that's going on, let's have a look, see who's streaming at the moment. There's quite a lot of people. Just trying to choose. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide who to raid when I do finish. We're not quite there yet, but in a few minutes. It is, yeah. It's called Dawn of Man. I have played this one before actually. I'm doing a bit of a series of streams every Sunday now, where I go through sort of human history from prehistory to the present day based on the games that I have, and I'm looking at their accuracy. This one is pretty good actually. It's pretty accurate in many ways, and yeah, they get a lot of stuff right. So yeah, it's this one has got a thumbs up from me. Also, I do play a lot of city sims, but I also play a lot of other stuff as well. I've been recently playing more random things. Like I think you seem to tune in for the city sims quite a lot, but I've sort of, I would say they probably are about a third of the games I play now. In terms of like time spent playing. Recently I've discovered a lot of non-city ones. But for historical type games, they're some of the best in terms of like getting a sense of life in life throughout history. You get, because you have overall control. That's fair enough. See, I am terrified by them, but I do enjoy them. But the scary games are the ones that but then I also still play Sea of Thieves, and I've been doing like the odd random game like Return of the Obra Dinn, what Remains of Edith Finch is one I'm going to be continuing this week, probably finishing off actually. So yeah, I want to keep a place for city games in my streams. Trader has arrived. I'm just having a look to see who to raid because I'm probably going to stop in a mo. I just want to find someone. difficult to know. What's Justice Pirate doing? I'm just having a look at oh, there's so many people. Can't decide. Let me just, I also need to keep an eye on the game. Oh, it's a tough one. Oh, don't know who to raid. Well, I'm gonna raid someone now. Let me just pause the game. Let's save. New save. Let's call this one Repesod, which is my name backwards. And then let's quit youth. Right, we'll play that. We'll carry on with this one next week. Just chatting. There we go. Right, let's close down the game. Okay, right. Let's decide who am I gonna raid. Oh god, I don't know. There's so many people. But let me try and see who is online. Let's raid Dupe for Gaming because he has raided me several times. And yeah, I have never raided him and I feel bad about that. So let's do that. Well, thanks so much everyone for tuning in. I had a great stream. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Hope you did too. I will be back tomorrow evening. We're going to be doing some more 18th century Minecraft. So I hope you enjoy that one. But yeah, looking forward to that one. I'm going to be doing a bit more of that off stream afterwards. I've got lots to show you around in my new city. I shall be in costume again tomorrow, as per usual. No worries, Mrs. Riddick. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, that's coming up. There's lots of, I stream pretty much every day, so you know we've got plenty to look forward to. But yeah, have a great rest of your evening, everyone. And if you are a subscriber, don't forget to use your avocados. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye bye.